Alrighty, so what we have here are some Wonder sweet peppers and carrot. And in just a few seconds here, I'm gonna go let my dog out of her cage. And then I'm gonna film her eating this. But what I found basically is that fruit like this should be counted as like flesh, essentially, like meat for dogs. So you can give them a little more if you cook it without giving them the squirts. That's what I found, essentially. I also, let's see, I mash it with a mallet. And then cooking it a little bit. It's just kind of a combination of information from the AKC website and the Throw Your Dog a Bone book. By doing both those things, mashing it with a mallet and cooking it, it really gets close to imitating what would be in the contents of an animal's stomach in the wild. Yeah, I'm gonna let this cook for a couple more minutes, and then I'll go get her out of her cage, and she's gonna be enjoying this with a well-rounded snack this afternoon. Okay, come here, sit down. Good dog. As you can see here, we have a wonderfully prepared homemade dog food mix, which basically looks like garbage. But would you believe it? That's what your dog likes. That's why they eat the kibble that you feed them, which truly is garbage. Hey, sit. The reason why I like to give these snacks is because it strengthens her gut, helps to prevent any sort of stomach torsion. Sit down. Come here. Come here. Try to come. Ah! No jumping. Sit. Good dog. No. As you can see, she's very excited. Cooked food is incredibly addictive to dogs. You'll be able to see what she picks out of here first. There is some raw food as well as cooked food. Just prepared in a way that, from my experience, seems to work. And what I like about this is that, come here, stop, come here, sit down. Tell she's excited. She's got the German Shepherd wine. Come here. Okay, I'm just gonna give it to her. Good dog. Sit. Go observe. And her collar's off, just for filming purposes. To explain what's in this pile of garbage, essentially. She's got canned pumpkin, yogurt, nutritional yeast, as well as I cooked an egg with the vegetables too. I just like to cook the vegetables in water first, and then I add in some oil, some corn oil, and yeah. Pet her a little bit. What she's eating. This is pretty high value to her, so it's always good just to desensitize. Oh, here's a good dog. With these kinds of breeds. Good dog. And this is essentially everything that would go into a complete dog food, except there are no meals added, and obviously not everything's cooked, like what would be in a dog kibble. And rather than bone meal, I think it's a real bone, a meaty bone. That's a chicken thigh with most of the meat stripped off. She's going back for it. I thought she was going to stop for a second. I was like, oh, kind of surprised. I'm surprised she's going for the bone at all right now. Usually she likes to eat all the cooked stuff first. She's liking that chicken leg today. I think even that's a little bit too meaty. Really, I prefer for it to be almost maybe like 70 to 80% bone to meat. That's maybe a little more. I'm not sure. She just woke up from a nap. I defrosted this chicken thigh a couple days ago. Really, you're supposed to throw your dog a bone every day, but 3 times a week helps a lot as well. It helps to express their anal gland, which is sometimes an issue, even in big dogs. I noticed chicken feet are really the best for that. You can actually visually see it usually when they go to the bathroom. As gross as that is to us. It's good for them though. The bone does actually act like fiber in their digestive tract. Raw bone, raw meaty bone, that is. It's very good for dogs. And I like to use chicken bones just to avoid any sort of bone burying behavior. Make sure she eats it all. And usually from noodle chickens, so they're soft and pliable. But still do everything like a bone could do for a dog. If you feed them beef bones, they can take them. They can break teeth, but they can also take them so long to consume it that they'll probably try to bury it, and then you're gonna end up with a stinky bone somewhere. You're gonna discover a stinky bone when your dog goes and unburies it to eat it, which they do that for a lot of reasons. We have similar digestive tracts to dogs, but they have much stronger digestive juices. Even though both people and dogs are omnivores, dogs have the mouths of a carnivore, while people have mouths more leaning towards like herbivores or omnivores. Omnivore herbivores. Right after she's done here, I'm gonna take her out to the bathroom, so she hasn't been out yet. So we'll see if she finishes her snack here. Pretty big snack, huh? This is probably too many vegetables for dogs too. Just to say, she might eat it all. She really wants the nutrients, but really they should get like a thin amount of like greens optimally. These kinds of like vegetables, the bell peppers and apple and carrot, actually have a lot of sugar in them and can definitely give your dog a sugar rush, give you a sugar rush. But greens have more like magnesium and more like relaxing like nutrients in them, help you have a calmer dog. There's also a lot of yeast in there, and I find that the vitamin B that's in it gives her like a lot of energy at first, but overall what the vitamin B does is it helps the dog not be nervy. Because if they're vitamin B deficient, which oftentimes pelleted food is, actually I'm not sure why. I assume because vitamin B is soluble and it gets cooked out of it, I think. That would just be my guess. Yeah. Back for the veggies. Let's see. She likes carrot, but it's not her absolute favorite, so we'll see if she eats it. She really likes bell peppers. And this is the first time she's had these peppers. And I felt like miracle sweet peppers. I think she would like bell peppers more than regular. She does anyway, usually. I don't know. Well, you know what, that pepper kind of smelled just a little bit funky when I was cooking it. It's an interesting color. I don't know. The red bell peppers are the best because they have a lot of vitamin E. And sometimes dogs can get a little deficient in that with pelleted food. I was hoping this kind of purplish one would have some of that too. I'm not sure. The carrots have a lot of vitamin A, obviously, with the orange. Which is, from what I've heard anyway, good for dogs. Sometimes vitamin A can very easily be cooked wrong and destroyed in food, and all pelleted food is cooked, so it really depends on the manufacturer. With this way, I just have absolute control. I know that she's getting all her nutrients, she's getting zinc at a reasonable level, and it's just good for, you know, to have a different kind of meal. Pellets are kind of like stew, from what I understand. So it's like giving your dog like stew for every meal, which could be good and bad, I guess. Yeah, it's really good for them to get some kind of variety. Or something else. Like, anything really. I mean, dogs pretty much can eat, and essentially can eat anything people can eat that you can think of. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not. I think it makes her coat pretty. Everything I say just comes from my research. Again, it's on the book, Throw Your Dog a Bone, and also from the AKC website. I found both be really good sources of information. For helpful tips of what may be beneficial for German Shepherd's diet. And dogs in general. Any dog can be thrown a bone. Even your smallest toy dog will pretty undoubtedly enjoy a raw bone. Dogs like this are prone to elbow problems, hip problems. She's taking away. And a raw diet, or at least supplemented in, giving your dog a bone can help prevent joint issues. Feed your dog too much, they'll throw it up. And they may fight you for it if you don't let them eat it after they throw it. Because even though that seems, I just closed the drawer. He's like, what was that? Even though it seems gross to us that they would eat their own vomit, there are a lot of reasons a dog would do that. Part of the reason why I give her yeast in her food is because it imitates the many B vitamins a dog would get from consuming the contents of a stomach or their own vomit. Back of her head there. I still think that looks cool. I'm just in my kitchen. All I like to do is wipe her paws with some antibiotic soap and wipe the floor down, disinfect it after she's done. She usually gets bats all the time too. She just got spayed. So no bats for a little bit. Huh. Going back for her vegetables. She was wrapping up. She's back for the morning. I find that you just got to take the proper precautions too with your raw food. There are certain precautions you have to take, particularly with parasites that can get you very sick. You might hear a lot of people talking about like freezing their food for a certain amount of time, and that does work if your freezer can reach a certain temperature. I think is negative 20 degrees Celsius. Which is pretty cold. That's pretty, so you have to make sure your freezer can reach that. But in general, it's just best to avoid anything that could carry parasites, which would be goat, sometimes rabbit livers. You can sometimes be infected with worms, which can get you very sick. Very rarely rabbits on occasion, so I thought about feeding a rabbit before. She's in potty training right now, so as soon as she's done, I'm gonna take her right out just to prevent any accidents. She's looking at clean. She really wants all the nutrients. Last thing is left is the carrot. Also, it's a tiny bit of carrot left. It's a one fraction. But again, it's cooked bones that are dangerous. Raw bones are fine. Your dog does have to chew though, as well. She's been through chewing training, large frozen pieces. up here. I'm just gonna take her out since she's wandering a little bit. This video in part is a response to first finally to Airborne's channel. I just wanted to see what other people's experiences are. This is mine. So, like, subscribe, and share. She's going back for it. Just a little bit here, though. This is some scene with some wandering. Hey! So she's going to the potty pads. Okay, come on. Wait. Oh, it's okay, we're going up. Thank you. Take that one. Saying hi. Sorry. Thank you. Stick it all the way.